So all the cranial nerves responsible for eyeball movement pass through superior orbital fissure. Hi, I am Dr. Mnemonics. In this video I will share mnemonics and tricks to remember the cranial nerves and vessels passing through various foramens, fissures and canal in the skull. Let's begin with Cribriform plate. Cribriform means small holes in a sieve. Now imagine a plate of food covered with Cribriform sieve. You can guess the food in the plate only by the smell. Sense of smell is carried by olfactory nerve. So, it is the olfactory nerve that passes through the Cribriform plate. Next is optic canal. The word optic itself reminds of optic nerve. So one structure passing through optic canal is optic nerve. To remember the second structure, take the can part of canal. The word then becomes optic can. The word can here means food can. So optic can means food for eye. Food for eye is carried by ophthalmic artery. So the second structure passing through optic canal is ophthalmic artery. Next is superior orbital fissure. The keyword for the mnemonic here is orbit. The word orbit has two meanings. One is cavity for eyeball. The second meaning is the path of movement of planets around the sun. Focus on the words eyeball and movement. So all the cranial nerves responsible for eyeball movement pass through superior orbital fissure, which are 3, 4, and 6. The other nerve passing through the superior orbital fissure is the nerve carrying sensations from around the orbit. That is, the ophthalmic branch of trigeminal nerve. Next is Foramen Rotundum. The keyword for mnemonic here is rot. Food gets rotten when expiry date is maxed out. Max here reminds of maxillary branch of trigeminal nerve. So it is the maxillary branch of trigeminal nerve that passes through Foramen Rotundum. Next is Foramen Ovale. Take the word ova from ovale. Ova represents female. And you know who is attracted to female? Man? Man here should remind of mandibular branch of trigeminal nerve. So it is the mandibular branch of trigeminal nerve that passes through Foramen Ovale. Next is Foramen Spinosum. The keyword for mnemonic here is spine. The spine is in the middle and is the main structure that helps keep the body in upright position. Focus in the words middle and main, which will remind of middle meningeal artery. So it is the middle meningeal artery that passes through the Foramen Spinosum. Next is Internal Auditory Meatus. Since it is auditory meatus, obviously nerve for hearing, that is Cranial Nerve 8 passes through it. Now for the other structure, the key word for mnemonic is meatus. Fragment the word and you get meetus, which means meeting. Since everything is online these days, it is online meeting. And in online meeting, it is only the face you show. Face here reminds of facial nerve, so the other structure passing through internal auditory meatus is facial nerve. Next is jugular foramen. The name is obvious reminder for internal jugular vein that passes through it. For the next structure, take the word jug from jugular. You know, glass always accompanies the jug. Glass should remind of glossopharyngeal nerve. So glossopharyngeal nerve passes through the jugular foramen. For the next structure, let's use the word jugular, as it rhymes with jugular. You will definitely find jugular performing in the streets of Las Vegas. Vegas here reminds of vagus nerve, so vagus nerve passes through the jugular foramen. Jugular vein is a common site of access for central catheterization. The word access here will remind of accessory nerve. So accessory nerve passes through jugular foramen. Next is Hypoglossal Canal. No mnemonic is required here because the word hypoglossal itself reminds that hypoglossal nerve passes through this canal. Next is Foramen Magnum. It is the largest foramen of the skull, so this foramen acts as an exit for brain extension structures which are brainstem and spinal cord. You see, spinal cord has special access into the vertebral body. Spinal access reminds of spinal root of accessory nerve. So the next structure passing through the Foramen Magnum is spinal root of accessory nerve. Vertebra here reminds of vertebral arteries. So the other structure passing through Foramen Magnum is vertebral arteries. Do like and subscribe for more of such mnemonic videos. Write in the comment what topics you find difficult to remember.